Okay, Royals fans, it's Ryan Lefebvre. I'm in my home office in Greenwood, Missouri, and we have Royals pitcher Brad Keller joining us from Glendale, Arizona, which is just outside Surprise, where the Royals have their spring training facility. And Brad, what is life like in Arizona right now?
I mean, the weather's perfect here, so that's about the only thing we can enjoy right now. It's tough. There's not much to do. Some golf courses are still open, but I've been off of those. Just kind of staying at home as much as I can. Get out to the grocery stores. Still able to get up to the field to be able to play catch. Obviously, the complex is closed and everything, but there's a field up there we're allowed to use. So. But honestly, there's not much going on here. We got a pool and we got some sunshine, so we get a little bit of a tan on. That's about it.
So you say we are some of your teammates out there with you?
Yeah, I'm currently living with Nicky Lopez. A little Zoom meeting. You want to come say hi?
Sure. What's up, guys?
I moved in with him at the beginning of this month, and we're going to try to find another place at the end of this month. But some of the guys just live out here. Like I know Junis lives out here, Braden Shipley lives out here, Jesse Hahn, Chance Adams. So a lot of guys, and Newberry, a lot of guys live out here. So we've all been kind of staying in touch, and yeah, I mean it's tough nonetheless. So
it seems like when the baseball season is going to begin, it's starting to heat up, and it sounds like Major League Baseball is trying to be really creative to find a way to get you guys back sooner rather than later. And there's a lot of different proposals, but it seems like just reading comments from other managers and general managers and pitchers that the consensus seems to be at least 3 weeks, somewhere between 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's centered around the pitchers. They think the hitters can get ready quicker than that. So in this time right now, what can you do to stay ready for whenever you get the green light, and what can't you do right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that ultimately whenever we start back up, whenever spring training 2.0 happens, it's ultimately on the pitchers. We were a week away from breaking for camp, so we were all built up, going 4 or 5 innings at the time. So for us to get shut down, we have to be really smart about building back up. We can't just, for however long we don't know right now whenever we're going to start up again. But say, at the end of this month, that's a full 2 months off of, not competitive pitching. The best we can do right now is throw bullpens and still just play catch every day. But that's not the same as, getting in a game, hitters in there, facing hitters. For us, it takes a lot longer than hitters. I feel like hitters can, they get in maybe a week's worth of games and, they're going to be right back. But, ultimately, I think they'll give us some time to be able to do it. I think, that's kind of the main thing is safety and just being smart with our arms. And I think that's all we can do.
Are you ready to answer some fan questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. How about, what is your favorite food to eat at home during this time?
Oh, that's tough. Like making food or taking out? Because
when it says during this time, you're not home with your family. I guess you don't have mom making a nice meal for you. So what's your favorite food right now in Glendale, Arizona?
Glendale, Arizona. There's oregano's. Oregano's probably my favorite right now.
Okay.
I'm Italian, so anytime we get some good Italian food, it's always a plus. And that's as far as home cooked. Nikki's girlfriend made these chicken enchiladas one night, and they were really good. But besides those two, those are kind of top two. They're tied right now.
And part of that question, what do you like to cook? What happens when you get behind the stove?
I cook breakfast. That's my thing.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
I'm not a grill master. I stick to breakfast, the easiest meal to cook. That's my go-to.
All right. Got a question from Gretchen Hayes. You've answered this partly already, but Gretchen's question is, how are you keeping your arm loose during this downtime? You mentioned going to the ballpark and playing catch. So what kind of throwing are you able to do right now?
Still able to long toss a little bit. We have a 100-yard conditioning field, so we're able to get some long toss in. There's still the mounds are there for us to use, so we're able to get off the mound a little bit. But with the uncertainty of when it's going to start up again, we don't know how intense everything's got to be. So kind of getting off the mound's been like 15 pitches, mainly just feeling the slope, making sure that everything like that still feels normal.
10-year-old Noah Wowak, what is your favorite baseball movie?
Favorite baseball movie's The Sandlot. That's the GOAT. That's one of the funniest. I think that was the first introduction to baseball I ever got as a kid was that movie. It felt like it was on the other day and I was locked. It's a classic, an all-time classic, and I think I'll never not like it. Like I think that'll forever be the best in my eyes.
Okay, this is from Josh Rogers, and I'll let you explain who Josh Rogers is because he says, who's a better golfer, me or you?
So Josh Rogers is my buddy that plays for the Orioles. We have the same agent, so we got to meet each other last off season or 2 off seasons ago. We had like our agency put on this little golf tournament in Vegas, which was the first night we did a Top Golf event, and then the next 2 days we actually played like a little tournament. But I'm gonna let the results of the Top Golf tournament answer this one, where that means I took that one home, but the results of the actual tournament doesn't matter because we were in teams. So I'm gonna go with I'm the better golfer.
Here's a good one. This is from Lisa Jackson. Lisa says, your advice for young children who love baseball but are afraid of or have anxiety over being at bat. She has an 8-year-old son who loves the sport, but after playing kid pitch for the first time last year, he doesn't want to play anymore because he's afraid of getting hit by the pitch. How do you parents encourage young children to get over this hurdle?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think ultimately, you just got to have fun with it. I know when I was in his shoes, I think I was the same way. I was terrified of getting hit. The first time I got hit, it felt like I was done with baseball. I was like, this sucks. I never want to play this again. Like, that wasn't fun. But, you come to realize, this is a game that you love to play. And when you make the game more fun as far as, like, get that aspect out of the way and, like, I'm sure, it's going to come with, time. You just got to kind of maybe the first time you get hit, just kind of wear it and be like, okay, yeah, that wasn't fun. But all the other times where, you square up a ball into the gap or, you make a diving play or, you strike out someone on the mound, like those are the times that really kind of overrule the not so fun times of baseball. Ultimately, your fear and anxiety of that will just kind of get pushed to the side if you focus on, the other aspects of the game that is more enjoyable.
Okay. Good answer. Josh Means wants to know, who is your favorite childhood team growing up? So I don't know if that's baseball specific or just any childhood team.
Yeah. Baseball specific's got to be the Atlanta Braves. Growing up in a time where I got to watch Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddox throw every 3 days or 5 days was pretty special. And they kind of are the ones that really inspired me to be a pitcher. I thought it was so much fun to watch them go out there and win and dominate games. And, they had that crazy stretch of winning all those division titles and stuff. Like growing up in an era like that, being able to watch that really, really kind of turned me on to baseball. So that was definitely my favorite team.
Do you have another team that you follow very closely?
I'm not so much into pro sports as far as that, but college sports. I'm a big Michigan Wolverines fan and a Georgia Bulldogs fan.
Okay.
And I catch a lot of crap from all the guys for that too, because everyone's like, you can't like 2, top 10 teams every year. And it's like, I was a fan of Michigan when they were going, 2-10 or whatever it was. And I was a fan of Georgia when they weren't doing so hot either. So it just so happened to be that they're both good right now. So But
Now,
yeah, those are my top three teams. And obviously the Royals took over that top spot over the Braves. So
now the Georgia makes sense because you're from Georgia, but why
yeah.
Michigan?
So my aunt and uncle live just outside of Ann Arbor,
Okay.
and when I was a little kid, I probably 5 or 6 years old, like just getting into sports, um, we went up there to visit my aunt and uncle, and we went down on the big house on the back then they left open a gate that you could always run down on the field and stuff. So it was snowing, and we got to go down on the field and did some snow angels at the 50-yard line, and we went to a hockey game and a basketball game, and I just fell in love with Michigan. But like that was like my first introduction to sports essentially, and I was like, this universe, this is where I want to go, like. And I was 5 years old, so at that point we got home, and I was like, Mom, like I'm a Michigan fan, like paint my whole room blue and maize, like we're going all out. It was pretty funny.
Is Mike Matheny aware of that?
I do not think so. I don't think he knows that. I should probably bring that up to him.
You should probably bring that up. Being a former Michigan Wolverine, you mentioned the Braves are your favorite childhood team, and maybe this will lead into the next question from Paxton Reedy. What is your favorite baseball moment? And I'm thinking about a game last year. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all. That is hands down my favorite baseball moment. That tops anything. That tops my debut, tops getting drafted, being able to pitch in front of my hometown team, hometown crowd. Just it gives me chills every time I talk about it because it was so special to be in that moment, and just just seeing it, when I went back this whole offseason, everyone that like I haven't talked to in many years and I'd run into, and they're like, oh yeah, I was at your game in Atlanta. Like it was just so cool. The whole experience from when we got there, having the off day there, getting to go home and, hang out with my family. First day I've been on the lake in, I don't know, 8 years probably, something like that. So being able to hang out with my family the 2 days before, and then the 2 games there. My first time in SunTrust Park, which they changed the name now, but just the whole experience was just hands down my favorite moment ever. And seeing everybody after the game, seeing my parents and just seeing how proud they were, it was really special.
Was it 7 scoreless innings and an RBI single? Is that right?
Yeah. That was the best part. Like like the pitching was whatever. I think I blacked out the whole pitching side, but like hitting, that's what everyone said. They're like, if you've ever seen me hit a baseball, it's not pretty. And so everyone, when I got a hit, no one really talked about me pitching. Everyone was just like, dude, you got to hit. Like, no way you got to hit. I was like, yeah. It was pretty crazy. Close your eye and swing hard. That's what I did.
Roberto 89. How did you celebrate your first major league win? And remind me, what was your first major league win?
It was in Cleveland. I threw 3 innings in relief, and it was actually, I want to say we were down like 11-6 or something like that, and we ended up winning. It was some big comeback because I remember coming into the game, and we were down a lot, and it was a freezing cold night in Cleveland, which isn't surprising. But I remember throwing the first inning, and we scored a few runs, and Cal said, this was, I was still not really built up to be a starter or anything. This was probably a month into the season. And he's like, do you want to go back out there? I was like, yeah, sure. So I go back out there, got 3 more outs, came back in, and then we ended up taking the lead the next inning, and Cal came up to me. So I pitched the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Cal came up to me after we took the lead. He's like, you want one more? And I was like, sure, let's do it. So go back out there, got 3 more outs. I threw 3 scoreless. I think I gave up like 1 hit, and it was a ball off my pitching hand by Jose Ramirez. Okay. And yeah, it sucked because it was so cold. I remember getting hit in the hand. I was like, this is terrible. We ended up taking the lead, and then I think Kelvin came in for the close, and it was sick because everyone was so pumped because it was such a big comeback. I want to say we were down by 5 runs, and we came back and won. And yeah, so it was beer showers and all that fun stuff. It was a lot of fun. We really didn't get to celebrate, much because we had a day game the next day. But the locker room celebration was awesome.
From Dave Samuel, what do you feel is the most important part of your game day routine? What part of your game day routine will you never avoid?
I think the most important part is the nutrition part. I make sure I wake up pretty early to get a good breakfast in because I know as the day goes on, I get more and more nerves and I won't eat. Like my appetite goes away, especially when I get to the field. So I make sure that I wake up pretty early and able to get a good breakfast in because I know how important it is, especially, if I want to try to pitch deep into that game, like I can't be doing it, with no fuel basically. So I think the most important is nutrition. But as far as like the fun side of it, I think my crossword puzzle is, it's weird, but I've always done a crossword puzzle before each start. And it's like I have to have the crossword puzzle done in order for me to be like, okay, like we can start now.
Okay, we got a question from Noah Wowak, and now here is from Sarah Wowak, also 10, so I guess they're twins. Have you played other positions other than being a pitcher?
Growing up, I did. I actually didn't start pitching until my freshman year of high school, honestly. I was an outfielder because I always had a good arm, but, we were always scared as, injuries and all that stuff as far as we and my parents and stuff. But yeah, I was an outfielder, but I wasn't very good at hitting. So I figured if I was going to have a career in baseball, I'd have to do something with pitching because hitting wasn't my forte.
Here's a really good one. This is from Vicky McBride. If you could face any batter in Major League history in their prime, who would it be and why?
I think it'd be cool to face those guys like Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, stuff like that. Those would be pretty cool guys to face.
Well, here's a good one to wrap it up. This is from Jill Nesledge. And Jill says, what is the best thing about being a Royal?
Oh, man, that's a great question. I think the best thing is, just seeing, the fans. The fans are the best part. Like obviously the last 2 seasons haven't gone our way as far as in the win and loss columns. But, the turnout at FanFest, like every single day, like seeing the fans, the turnout here in spring training, just like everyone's just so excited for us to play. And I think it gives you a little bit of sense of pride. Like, we don't just play for ourselves. We play for Kansas City, and it embodies more than just Kansas City. It's like the surrounding towns outside. Like it's those, small towns in Nebraska, small towns in Kansas, small towns in Missouri. It's like, it's more than just Kansas City. And I think that's the best part. I mean, it's, just being able to go out there and on the world stage and represent a city like that is just so much fun to do.
Well put. Brad, thanks for your time. It was great chatting with you, and hopefully we see each other in person sometime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm waiting for it. Can't wait.